Hey guitar friends, it's Mike. I picked up this guitar back in March of this year, and it was listed for $165, and I made an offer. I think it was $125, and it was free shipping. And I was interested because it's an older guitar, and I have a soft spot for older guitars, vintage guitars, and so I decided I would take a shot with this one. And it's an Epiphone Les Paul Special Classic. It is an older model, and in the description box, the seller said that he knew it was at least 15 years old. And so when I got it home, I checked the serial number, and it is 19 years old. It was made in 2001, and this guitar wasn't played very often. It looks like it had a little bit of play, but for a guitar that's almost 20 years old, it's really in very nice condition. So I decided to take a shot. I bought it, and I really liked the finish on it. There really isn't a blemish, a couple of hairline scratches here and there that you have to look to see under light. Otherwise, it's in excellent shape. And the seller's pictures are dark, so I apologize for that. So what I'll do now is switch to some video I took of me working on the guitar and making certain changes and enhancements, and we'll have the great reveal at the end. Hold on one second. Hey guitar friends, it's Mike. I picked up this old Epiphone, and I dated it via the serial number, and it is from 2001. And it has that old Epiphone headstock logo. There you see the truss rod cover, and it's in very, very nice condition. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out the stock pickups, and I'm going to put these P90s in. And I got these from Guitar Madness off of eBay. I'll put a link down below. And I'm going to swap out the stock bridge. I don't like these Epiphone bridges with the wire. Sometimes they rattle because of this wire, so I'm going to replace it with this bridge, which is a Tune-o-matic without the wire, and I got this off of Rondo Music site. It's the bridge that they use on their Agiles, and I believe this was like $9.99, $10 for this bridge, but it's a much, much better bridge. So the only swaps I'm going to make is this, the bridge, and the pickups, and that's going to be it. I do have to tighten up the volume pot a little bit. It's a little shaky, but that's just a matter of tightening the nut down. That's it. Everything else is in really good shape. There's no dings or real blemishes on it. The finish is interesting. You can see it has kind of a wavy finish in the paint. I don't know if you can see that. Probably you can see it here, which I kind of like. It gives it that vintage look. And that's about it. I'm going to clean up the fretboard, which is clean to start with, but I'll polish up the frets. And then we'll see how she comes out. Okay? So I'll be back after I put the pickups in. Okay, so I want to show you something that happens sometimes, not a lot, but on some of the guitars like the Epiphone Specials, they come with pickups that have no covers. So the pickup routing holes accommodate that type of pickup. If you try to swap out pickups and put a pickup in that has a cover, sometimes what will happen is the pickup cavity that's been routed is too small to get that type of pickup in. So what I did was I took my Dremel with this type of bit, sanding bit, a round sanding bit, and I sanded and rounded the corners of the pickup cavity on all four sides. And when I did that, the pickup fits perfectly. Okay? I want to point that out because occasionally it will happen, and that's the solution. Don't try to do this with a chisel and try to chip at it and all that stuff. You will wind up cracking the finish. Okay? So the best way to do this is to use a tool like a Dremel and just sand out the corners here, and the problem will be solved. All right? So I'm going to hook up the pickups now, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so she's done, and I think she came out great. The guitar is dated 2001, based upon the serial number that's on the bolt-on plate. She's all cleaned up. I did have to put new tuners on the guitar. They're the vintage tuners. I'll show you them in a moment. The original tuners that came with the guitar were a little wobbly. So I took a set that I had in inventory and installed them. Again, humbucker P90s. The bridge is from Rondo Music, and I'll put the link down below. And I think these bridges cost 10 bucks, maybe 12 bucks, around there, but they're very good bridges. Much better than a lot of the stuff you're going to find on eBay. It's the original tailpiece. I put different knobs on the guitar. I didn't like the big black speed knob, so I put these on. It gives it a more vintage look. The finish for a guitar that's almost 20 years old is amazing. It obviously wasn't played very much. I did clean up the fretboard. It's been oiled, and I polished up the frets. I did have to adjust the truss rod just a little bit, 1/4 turn to the left. The intonation is spot on, no issues. Really a very, very nice guitar. So I don't know whether I'm going to keep her or flip her. I still have to decide. A lot of times what happens is I'm thinking I'll fix her up and sell her and make a couple of bucks. But then after I fix her up, I'm thinking she came out pretty good. Maybe I'll keep her. And that's why I have way too many guitars these days. Okay, let me flip her over and I'll show you the back of the guitar. Okay, so there's the back of the guitar. There's the plate. You can see it has the serial number. The neck's in fine shape. And those are the new tuners, same as the old. And these work well, they're very tight. Okay, so one final look. There we have it. It's an Epiphone with the old vintage headstock logo. It's what we would call today an Epiphone Special. Same design, same body. But this is a neat little vintage guitar. All right, everybody, comment section is open. Feel free to comment and take care.